No, the last bit. Do you care at all about more Candace Jones stuff? Because the last thing.
Candace Owens? No.
Fuck me. Candace Jones might literally. I think that's literally a person that was in my kindergarten class. Is what that is.
Oh, that poor girl.
Yeah. No. Anyone who's ever in class with me, pray for them.
What an insult.
Retroactively pray for them to ascend into heaven. They deserve it. When I was 4 years old, I was pantomiming hammering something so hard that I threw the hammer behind me and it hit a girl in the head. But because it was Florida, it was a real hammer made out of like iron or something. They just let us play with it.
What?
Yeah. So then like the girl's crying obviously and bleeding, whatever. Okay, drama queen. And so my punishment was the teacher got someone to watch a class and she went into the chapel for an hour and just prayed for my salvation and that I'd stop doing wickedness for a full hour, which to a kindergarten kid is like, or pre-K or whatever it was. That's literally torture.
I mean, that's a not insignificant part of your life at that point when you're in kindergarten. An hour is like, it's like 1/1000th of your life at that point. That's a shitload of time.
And you know what I also realized at the time? Like, even as a child, I realized talk radio is kind of a talent because she clearly decided, like, step one was I decide I'm going to do an hour prayer as your punishment, which, okay, there you go. But
what is the incentive?
Then we walk to the chapel. You know, she's holding my shoulder and we sit down. We kneel at the actual front and she starts to, because it has to be out loud, obviously, or it's just sitting in silence. It's time out. You could just give me time out. So she starts going out loud. And she's like, let us be good to each other and know that one another is the same under your light. You know, that sort of stuff. But
yeah.
Have you tried talking solo for an hour uninterrupted?
No, because I'm not a crazy person.
Yeah, well, neither had she, apparently. Despite all evidence, I guess she wasn't a crazy person. Because, like, 12 minutes in, she realized she was out of material. And so she just started filibustering about, like, Lord... with all that's going on in Somalia. And then she just started recapping a Wall Street Journal article that she clearly just read. Or like she was on, Bosnia was big. To this day, I remember being 4 years old and thinking like, a lot of Bosnia content.
Tone it down with the Bosnia talk, lady.
Boy, I'm not sure I have the cultural context to really appreciate what's going on over there. So wait a second. Clinton hit a military factory, but it might have been a pharmaceutical factory. But
it's just one big mess.
I started crying. I'm sorry. It worked. I'm sorry I threw the hammer. It was accidental. I don't know what to do.
Don't tell me about the Bosnians anymore. God. Catholics are king of just torturing people, both historically and figuratively.
Well, hey, that was a Protestant group.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I didn't even.
All right, take it back.
That that's Protestant because the lack of rigidity. The fact that she just went like, oh, I know, I'm going to pray for like an hour. Let's go to the chapel and I can freestyle this shit, which is the most Protestant thing in the world. If it was a Catholic, they would have like made an appointment somewhere, like reserved the room and then gone through a strict dogma that we both would be reading off of like a bulletin that was 14 pages thick.
Oh, yeah, just a series of catechisms that you either repeat over and over and over again or just get ever more progressively insane, and none of it makes any sense whatsoever, especially not to children. But don't worry, this is important.
Protestantism's cool because just like every time you freestyle, God says that was the best freestyle ever. So this woman clearly had the unearned confidence of like a Baptist. But anyway.
So you would say Protestantism is the bebop movement to old school jazz?
I would say it's like the guy that heard Scatman once in the 90s and was like, yeah, I got that down. And like they're at the Blue Note in the East Village and they're like, does anyone here know how to beatbox? And they raise their hand because they've had too many white wine spritzers. Yeah, I got it. And after the first 2 seconds, they're out of steam, but they got to keep it up.
There's a career ahead of you.
Anyway, Candace Owens sucks.